family for being here, and I hope that on behalf of all of us that are gathered here, that you understand what your dad, your husband, has meant to a lot of us in Parker County. So we've got a few people that are going to say some words, and then we'll give everybody a chance to visit with Judge Chrestman, because I know that's why you're here. You're not here to listen to me or anybody else. But we thank y'all for being here, and at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Judge Quisenberry to unveil the photo.
Well, Mike, I think technically this would be the unveiling of a portrait. And not a photo. And I'm going to make a few comments about that, why that word might be appropriate. My name is Quisenberry. I'm presiding judge of the 415th District Court, just across the hall from this one. And it is certainly my honor to be able to make some comments today on this occasion. And there's been an upside for me to be asked to do this, and it has caused me to reflect about what comments I would make today, and of course in that process to reflect about the job of being a jurist. And so you would expect me to say the usual niceties about how everybody loves Judge Chrestman and we're all sorry to see him go and that sort of thing. Or I might say, man, we were wondering if he was ever going to leave. But I want to expand on that a little bit and maybe give you a little perspective, because it is indeed an honor to unveil this portrait and to have this go on the wall. And so, you know, what has Judge Chrestman meant for all of us, and why are we all here today? Well, being a judge is somewhat of a contradiction, or somewhat of a dilemma, may be a more appropriate thing to say. And that is, we occupy a position that truly is the reflection of justice in our society. And the people we put in those positions are a reflection of justice for our state and our nation. And so in one way of looking at these things, the presiding judge, wherever that presiding judge may be, in whatever court he may be, is the embodiment of justice and of the judicial process. And so that's one side of it, because our justice system, we hope to be eternal as long as our state exists. And this court is certainly long-standing, because the 43rd District Court's been in existence over 100 years. And so it has stood over the ages and exemplified justice in Parker County. And so who do we put in those positions? Well, that's where we get into the human side and not the eternal side, because the people that we put in these positions change over time, as we see here on the wall. And so most of us, being residents of Parker County and somewhat associated with Parker County, even if we're not residents, we want somebody in that position that is the human side and the side of justice. And that made me reflect about my own position. And what does that mean? And I'm glad that it made me reflect about my own position. And so this occasion with Judge Chrestman's retirement made me do that, and that's a positive thing. I also live in this county, and who do I want to occupy the position? Well, who better than Judge Chrestman? And so this fellow from Corpus Christi, okay. He grew up in the normal way, I think, or that's what I've heard, and Dan Carney may be able to dispute that a little with his comments. grew up in the normal way, went to college, went to law school, got married, had a family, practiced law, and became a district judge. And so, what better background for a person to make these decisions? And you really could not think, or I cannot think, of a more qualified, well-rounded person to occupy this position. Furthermore, I look at it from a selfish perspective. I have to live across the hall from this court. And I'm obligated, to some degree, to work with my colleague in the 43rd. And it caused me to reflect about my experiences with Judge Chrestman. And who better to work with over the years than Judge Chrestman. And so it's made my job not any harder, at least, because I haven't had to worry about what's going on in the 43rd District Court. I haven't had to worry about taking care of a problem over here. I've not had to worry about how our judicial council meetings are going to go. And perhaps most importantly, I've not had to worry about how justice is going to be served for my county out of the 43rd. And so, in that regard, it's been a great thing for me. And I think we're all here for the same reason. And so, we honor Judge Chrestman. And actually, Judge Chrestman is not leaving. It's not a negative. Judge Chrestman is retiring. And so the last reflection I had is about retirement itself. Well, we know as judges that our decisions really put us out on an island. Our decision-making process puts us on an island, and we have to make those decisions. And I'm sure Judge Chrestman considered very thoughtfully the prospect of retirement. And I think I can speak for all of us that none of us wanted him to go. But he made that personal decision, and so we're here to celebrate retirement. We're not here to celebrate him leaving. And so we're going to let the future generations see who served in this court by having the 17th portrait hung up here on the wall of all of the fine people who have served as judges in the 43rd District Court. And so it is my honor and privilege to unveil this portrait